You cannot always control everything that happens in your life, right? Things are gonna happen that is not always under your control. You might, it might be a sunny day, it might be a foggy day, you might hit the lottery, you might lose, you might hit bankruptcy, your stocks might plummet, you might come down with a health problem, right? You might get sick. A bunch of things that aren't always in your control. However, what Stoicism says is you can always control your reaction to these events. The one thing you can always control 100% is how you react, how you think, how you feel, what you do, okay? And I completely agree with that. And corollaries to the Stoic philosophy is always ask myself this question: what can I do about it? What's in my control, right? There's a whole nother concept tied to this, locus of control. What can I do about this? If something happens to me, okay, it's happened, I'm always automatically gonna think, what can I do about it? What can I do to change this? What can I do to fix this? If I can't change it, can't do anything, it's not worth thinking about it. So it's always centered upon what can I do? What can I actually change? How can I actually impact or make this a difference? If I cannot change it, drop it. If I can change it, try to change it. And yeah, what's in my control? So that's always the corollary question of Stoicism. And some benefits of this, guys, I've experienced it. So I read the book. Number one, I highly recommend Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And it's a difficult read, but I would highly recommend this book, guys. I cannot highly recommend it enough. It has tremendous, profound benefit impact on your life. And I'll talk about some benefits. Okay. So number one, you'll experience less turmoil mentally and emotionally, less emotional suffering. These are things I've experienced, and I highly think that you will also experience this. More respect, self-respect, but also more respect from everyone around you. So I've noticed people have a lot more respect by friends, strangers, coworkers, students, just people, more respect. More effective at life, just more effective at my job, better at my job, better at doing things, just better in the terms of more competent and being able to do things better. Stronger mentally, and how I define a weak mind or a strong mind. In my mind, a strong mind is someone that's not easily deterred by outside events. So if I had set my mind to do something, I'm gonna do it. So it's gonna help with mental strength, being able to overcome barriers, being able to overcome quote unquote obstacles. May not even see obstacles where you used to see obstacles, but just see it as is. It is what it is, right? That's kind of like a Stoic concept is, it is what it is. It's happened, it is what it is. Okay. And yeah, the other benefit is unfazed. And so some common misconceptions about Stoicism is the common belief of Stoicism is like, you don't feel, you're unfeeling, you're cold, you're a cold shoulder, right? You're like, I'm a robot. And that's actually not the case, guys. I believe Stoics, and just speaking for myself, I feel deeply. You feel deeply, but you realize what's in your control and what's out of your control. So that's why people who are Stoics, quote unquote, don't react so hugely, because A, it is what it is. B, they accept everything that's happened, right? So spilled milk is spilled milk. There's no point in me getting all upset. I'm gonna react hugely, be like, oh man, and then automatically, what can I do about this, right? What can I do about this? What's in my control right now? How I can control my reaction. Someone rear ends me. I'm driving my car, boom, car hits me, rear ends me. Okay, it's happened. What can I do to fix this situation, right? I can analyze this. Was I at fault in any way? Was it maybe I driving at night? Was I could I put on some better So I'm gonna analyze what I can control, okay? And it's unfazed. I feel everything deeply, and it's realizing that you're not getting upset over it because you realize that there's nothing to get upset about. So, of course, there's still going to be that initial reaction, but it's not going to be a drawn out thing. It's just let it go. It's happened already, right? Learn from it. How can I progress and move on? That's the Stoic approach, guys. It's not robotic. It's more just a realization of reality. I'm only affected if I let it affect me. I'm only disrespected by someone if I let that person disrespect me. I'm only mad if I let it make me mad, right? So this, guys, I would 100% recommend, if you're not familiar with Stoicism, before you go into the disagreements or like the cons of Stoicism, I still recommend highly, like, you should read some book, at least one or two. I recommend Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. There's a lot of good ones out there, but I still highly recommend it. I would consider myself a supporter of the Stoic philosophy highly, and I would recommend it to everybody. Okay, one thing about Stoicism that I can see some people being against this is when you're unfazed in life, you don't always feel emotions deeply. And because as one of the Stoic philosophies is like unattachment, and this might be tied to Buddhism, it's like unattached. I'm unattached to any outcome. I'm completely flexible and undeterred by any outcome. Whatever happens, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with whether this happens. I'm always at peace. I'm not attached. But one of the things about life is like, man, maybe I want to feel really sad and deeply sad, and maybe I want to feel like really deeply happy. And so I'm sorting that out, guys, of like Nietzsche or Ayn Rand, of like part of life is like having these huge emotional swings. Part of life is like having huge grief in your heart and being attached to an outcome. I don't know. So I can feel myself that of like, as I become more open and less reactive, and I feel like that passion. That's the key word, guys. The passion, right? Stoics and Stoicism, you always associate with like cool and calmness and collected, undisturbed, unbothered, chill, can never tilt me off scale. But dude, I want that passion too, you know? That huge like, let's go, right? That passion, right? So it's always like balancing the two of cool, calm, collected, and still having that passion, still having that heart, still caring deeply about something where you cannot, right? So like athletes, I imagine like, you know, they walk that fine balance. I don't think, you know, it's probably one and the same. To feel deeply passionate about something, so deeply passionate about, right, that you can't sleep, that you can't wait to wake up, that this didn't happen, man. Like I'm just like, oh man, I'm really sad. Like that girl, I was really hoping to talk, right? But the Stoic, right, of just let it go, cool, calm, collected, easy going, right? So it's always a balance. I haven't quite worked it out yet, guys, of like to feel so passionate, so deeply, so intense, right? And then the Stoic approach is calmness, coolness, flexibility, no attachment. What can I control, right? And I think both philosophies is great. I'm gonna try to combine both. I don't know what the other philosophy is. It's just being passionate about everything. Being so passionate about everything, but that's a slippery slope too, because if you're so passionate about everything, you're bothered. You get bothered by every single little tiny detail. And it could be a lot of emotional swings, right? So that's the only incompleteness I say of Stoicism, or maybe I'm misreading Stoicism and I missed something. Maybe they're not against passion. Maybe they're for passion as well. But that's my understanding, guys. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Highly recommend familiarizing with yourself with the Stoic philosophy. I recommend Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I'm going to read some Seneca, some Epictetus. There's that person called, the Daily Stoic. Multiple books about meditation, Buddhism. There's a huge overlap. And yeah, guys, so I'll leave it at that. I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to figure it out myself, but Stoicism's really been beneficial for my life. Always tell yourself, you can't always control the things that happen. Can't always control the things that happen in your life, but you can always control your reaction, right? Bad things, or negative things, or things are always gonna happen, and you can always control how you react to it. And then the corollary is, anytime something happens, okay, what can I do about it? What can I change? What's in my control? What can I do? If I can't do anything, drop it. If I can, go forward. And then another caveat is maintain that passion. I feel like passion and being excited and having that energetic, let's go, that's important in life too. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace, love. Until next time, guys. Peace.